I will be discussing my perspective on the Research Triangle Software Innovations Giving Voice to Values case at the end of Chapter 8 in Minton Morris's text, Ethical Obligations and Decision-Making in Accounting, Text and Cases. This particular case is interesting to me because the short time I've been working in accounting, it has become very apparent that information systems such as ERP software are becoming more and more integral for today's businesses. The overview of the case includes three main companies: Research Triangle Software Innovations. They provide an ERP product. Oak Manufacturing is looking for an ERP product. Tar and Heel is assisting Oak Manufacturing in selecting and implementing an ERP software. So these are the three main people. They all are at Tar and Heel. Steve is the highest ranking at Tar and Heel. Gary is Roseanne Senior, and Roseanne does the work. Although Roseanne is staff, she is a lead staff member with plenty of experience and great work ethic. This is a giving voice to values case because there's a bit of an ethical dilemma. Roseanne would like to sell the software that best checks the boxes for Oak Manufacturing. However, Gary would like to sell Research Triangle software because they are such a good client for Tar and Heel. Plus, he may see some benefit personally for promoting Research Triangle. And of course, Steve would like to sell Tar and Heel's own software because he believes it would be better for the firm to sell their own product. So even before approaching Steve, Gary had overturned Roseanne's choice of the Longhorn Software Systems ERP product and required the close second, which was Research Triangle's product. Steve doesn't really like this, but he also doesn't really like Longhorn's product. So he scheduled a meeting for all three of them to discuss this and come up with a better solution. So Roseanne is obviously the lowest ranking individual in the group, but that doesn't mean she doesn't have influence. She does have upward influence, and she can point out several things that could be at stake that both Gary and Steve should be concerned about, including the firm's perception, or perception of the firm, and possibly the reputation of the firm might be at stake. Future client relationships might be at stake. Difficult implementation and difficult support of a software solution that is not a good fit could be a result of making a poor choice in the situation, and bad reviews of the firm's own software if it's not a good fit, which would inhibit future growth of the firm's software. So Roseanne personally, of course, has relationships at stake as well, and at a minimum will probably need to be tactful in how she proposes things to Steve and Gary. I would suggest that she discusses with Steve and Jerry and tries to find out the reasons why they made the choices they did, and discuss with them what would need to be different for them to change their minds. That would hopefully invoke conversation and hopefully procure a more objective approach among the group. Then Roseanne should suggest that Oak Manufacturing provide input on the software product they will ultimately be purchasing. At a minimum, though, Oak Manufacturing needs to be aware of Tar and Heel's relationship with each of the software vendors. There are some considerations by the AICPA Code of Professional Conduct, primarily regarding objectivity, independence, and conflicts of interest. Gary's decision could be said to have been affected by the Research Triangle's influence. Even though it is possible Research Triangle is the best choice, Gary's motivations for choosing it were not in line with the AICPA Code of Professional Conduct. Similarly, Steve's choice to promote Tar and Heel's own product seems to be a conflict of interest, and probably shouldn't be on the table unless Oak Manufacturing specifically requested it. Roseanne's decision was objective and free of any conflict of interest, and was probably the best choice according to the AICPA Code of Professional Conduct.